Hello again, and thank you for joining me for this week's edition of your Wheel and Anchor weekly newsletter. And what a week it's been since I released the newsletter last week, where the topic was, of course, the requirement of vaccines for travel. We've received a tremendous number of responses from our community. In fact, I think that the newsletter and accompanying video was our most watched since we started Wheel and Anchor just a few years ago, which shows you the level of importance that our members are putting on this subject and the whole topic of vaccination and travel, which will undoubtedly be a controversial one for some time to come. There's still tons of debate about it, and I don't think we're going to be hearing any less. And I think it's important because there are so many facets to this subject. That being said, it's pretty clear almost unanimously our members said that they would feel much more comfortable. In fact, many of our members said it would be a condition for them that all of the other members on a trip be vaccinated before they would agree to go. And so it makes it pretty clear for me what our direction will be in this regard, and that is that we will require all members participating in our programs to be vaccinated. And of course, there's a number of questions associated with that. How are we going to accomplish that? Do we even have the right to put that measure into place? And how do we ensure that that's the case? How do we get proof of documentation? What is the documentation going to look like? There are a million questions surrounding this, and so I certainly don't have the answer to all of those questions. We have to investigate this further, but that will not dissuade us from our position, which, as I say, is that vaccination will be a prerequisite to joining our trips. So you'll notice in the coming weeks that we will change our documentation accordingly. Of course, there's still time because I know some members, we're not going to be traveling for a number of months anyway, and some members haven't yet had the opportunity to get fully vaccinated. So there's still time. It's not like something you have to take action on now, but I thought that it would be reassuring to most of our members to know that that will be our policy, and we will figure out how to deal with all that. And there'll be a number of other mitigation measures, that will be a part of traveling. And as it's stated in our various documents, we will assess that in the weeks and months before any trip to determine, based on where we're going, the local situation with the pandemic, as well as a number of factors, exactly what those measures will entail. Obviously, we want to be able to travel in comfort. We don't want to be too much impacted, but health and safety, as it perhaps goes without saying, is our absolute number one priority, and that's the reason behind this decision. So I continue to welcome any feedback that you may have on the subject, and you're certainly welcome to ask any questions. We'll do our best to answer, but as I say, this is a topic that will be continuing to evolve, and I appreciate the indulgence shown by everyone on this subject. So we'll be doing our next webinar. We're actually taking a couple of weeks off. Not off. We have plenty to do here at Wheel and Anchor, but our next webinar will be Thursday, July the 8th, on Tuscany, our Live Away in Tuscany. It's so far been a very popular program. In fact, I think our most subscribed to webinar thus far. So if you haven't had a chance to sign up for that, and if you're interested to find out about Tuscany, then please do join us for that. 11 o'clock a.m. on the 8th of July, as I said, will be the time. And that trip, focusing on 2 weeks in the beautiful city of Florence. I've managed to secure some wonderful apartments right in the heart of the city center. We'll spend 2 weeks there, really living in this magical place. And then 2 weeks in the countryside in a little town that I know some of our members have already visited before, called Cortona in southeastern Tuscany. And it'll be a beautiful place to explore the countryside of that part of Italy, which is truly, truly magical. So do join us to find out about that. I look forward to having you along. And in the meantime, I'll catch up with you again next week, and keep those emails and messages coming in. I love to hear from you. And finally, a welcome to all of our new members who've joined us recently. If you haven't already heard from myself or one of my colleagues, you will do so in the near future. Take care, and we'll catch up to you again next week.